Our planet holds many secrets. Deep within its heart, beneath layers of time, lie mysteries of lost civilizations. These are not the civilizations of our history books. These are cultures far older, far more advanced, cultures swallowed by the mists of time. We catch glimpses of them in ancient myths and legends. We see them in ruins that defy conventional explanations. They are whispers of something great, something lost. Why are we so drawn to these lost civilizations? Perhaps it is the thrill of the unknown. Perhaps it is the realization that our understanding of the past is incomplete. Or perhaps it is the unsettling possibility that we are not the first advanced civilization on Earth. Whatever the reason, the allure of lost civilizations is undeniable. Their stories spark our imaginations and challenge our assumptions. They remind us that the past is a vast and mysterious landscape, full of wonders waiting to be uncovered. Across the globe, from the Americas to Asia, a single story appears again and again. It is the story of a great flood, a catastrophic deluge that swept away an ancient world. The Egyptians had their story, the Babylonians had theirs. The Greeks, the Hindus, even the Native Americans all spoke of a time when the waters rose up and consumed the land. Could this be mere coincidence? Or could it be a shared memory passed down through generations of a real event? An event so cataclysmic that it scarred the collective memory of humanity? The universality of the flood myth is too striking to ignore. It suggests a common origin point for these stories, a shared experience that left an indelible mark on our ancestors. But what could have caused such a devastating flood? Some point to natural disasters like tsunamis or glacial melts. Others suggest something more profound, something that shook the very foundations of our planet. Whatever the cause, the flood myth serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of civilization. Examining the remnants of ancient cultures, we find hints of knowledge that seem impossible for their time. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is an architectural marvel. Its precision and alignment with celestial bodies suggest a level of mathematical and astronomical sophistication far beyond what we attribute to the ancient Egyptians. And what of the enigmatic constructions at Pumapunku in Bolivia? Massive stone blocks cut with laser-like precision and fitted together with incredible accuracy. These structures defy explanation, even with our modern technology. How could ancient people, with only rudimentary tools, have created such things? The evidence suggests that our understanding of ancient capabilities may be flawed. Perhaps these were not primitive cultures stumbling in the dark. Perhaps they possessed knowledge passed down from an earlier time that allowed them to achieve feats we cannot yet explain. Mainstream history often dismisses the idea of a lost advanced civilization. It clings to a linear view of progress where civilization slowly climbs from simplicity to complexity. Anything that contradicts this narrative is often labeled as pseudoscience or fringe theory. Why is there such resistance to these ideas? The answer lies in the structure of academia itself. Historians and archaeologists build their careers on established narratives. To challenge these narratives is to risk their reputations and their livelihoods. It is easier to dismiss inconvenient evidence than to re-examine long-held beliefs. This resistance to new ideas is not new. Throughout history, groundbreaking discoveries have been met with skepticism and hostility. But as evidence mounts, and as more people begin to question the established narrative, the walls of academia will begin to crumble. Section 5. Out-of-place artifacts, challenging the narrative. Scattered across the globe are objects that simply don't belong. These out-of-place artifacts, parts, are like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle from a different box. They don't fit with our current understanding of the past. Take, for example, the Antikythera mechanism. This ancient Greek device, discovered in a shipwreck, is a complex astronomical calculator. Its gears and inscriptions point to a level of technological sophistication centuries ahead of its time. Then there's the Baghdad battery. Dating back over 2,000 years, this collection of clay pots, copper tubes and iron rods appears to be a primitive battery. Could ancient people have possessed knowledge of electricity long before we thought possible? These parts are anomalies, glitches in the matrix of our historical understanding. They are physical reminders that the past is not always as we imagine it. Their very existence challenges us to expand our view of what is possible. Section 6. The flood catalyst for change. If an advanced civilization did exist in our distant past, what happened to it? Could the Great Flood be the answer? Perhaps this global cataclysm was not just a natural disaster, but the final act in the story of a lost world. Imagine a civilization at its peak, technologically advanced, with knowledge and wisdom far surpassing our own. Then imagine a disaster of unimaginable scale, wiping it all away. Cities, libraries, monuments, all reduced to rubble beneath the waves. The survivors, scattered and traumatized, would have clung to fragments of their former knowledge. They would have passed down stories of the flood, warnings for future generations. These stories, distorted over time, became the flood myths we know today. Section 7. Seeds of knowledge. Could this lost civilization have influenced the cultures that came after? It's an intriguing possibility. Perhaps some of the knowledge from this advanced civilization survived the flood, carried by survivors and passed down through generations. This could explain the sudden leaps in knowledge and technology that we see in the archaeological record. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Sumerians, all achieved remarkable things. Could they have been inspired by remnants of a lost civilization? Could the seeds of their knowledge have been sown by the survivors of a forgotten world? The idea of a lost civilization influencing later cultures is not as far-fetched as it might seem. After all, we are constantly rediscovering lost knowledge and forgotten technologies. Who knows what secrets the past might still hold? Section 8. Unlocking the past, illuminating the future. The search for lost civilizations is not just an academic exercise, it is a journey of self-discovery. By understanding our past, we gain a better understanding of ourselves. If we discover that we are not the first advanced civilization on Earth, it will fundamentally change our view of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. It would mean that we are not the pinnacle of creation, but part of a cycle of rise and fall. It would mean that advanced civilizations are not immune to disaster, and it would mean that we have a responsibility to learn from the mistakes of the past. The search for lost civilizations is a call to action. It is a call to explore, to question, and to challenge our assumptions. It is a call to remember that the past is not set in stone, but a fluid and ever-evolving narrative. Section 9. A call for open minds. The idea of a lost advanced civilization destroyed by a great flood may seem like the stuff of fiction, but the evidence from ancient myths to unexplained artifacts suggests otherwise. It's time to open our minds to the possibility that our history is not what we thought it was. We must be willing to challenge the established narrative, to ask difficult questions, and to consider alternative explanations. Only then can we begin to unlock the secrets of our past and understand our true place in the grand tapestry of time. The journey won't be easy. There will be resistance from those who cling to the old ways of thinking. But the truth, as always, is out there, waiting to be discovered. Let us have the courage to seek it out.